Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin'. Today, we're going to be using a suite that is featured in our new mini catalog, and it is on page 34 and 35. Now, 34 is going to show you a bunch of samples and things that Stamping Up showed how they showcase this set. Over here is going to show you the collection. Sometimes it's confusing. What is a collection versus a bundle? Just think of a collection being the whole shebang. So it's basically everything that comes together that matches and coordinates. So in this collection, and it's called a Suite Collection, Regal Winter, you get the Regal Flora stamp set, the Regal Flora dies, you get a specialty paper, a designer series paper, some beautiful gems, and ribbon. That's the whole thing. Now, you might not want the paper and the embellishments, so that's fine. You can still bundle and get the stamp and the dies at the bundle price. Just make sure that when you're ordering, you use the bundle number. So if you want the whole collection, make sure you use the Suite Collection number. If you want just the stamp and the dies, make sure that you use the bundle number. And if you just want the stamps, come down to here and it says to order the bundle individually, you can order using this number for just the stamp set or this number for just the dies. But if you're going to get the dies and the stamp set together, use the bundle number because you'll save 10% over purchase them separate. The only time you wouldn't want a bundle is say you only want the stamps, you don't want the dies. So that explains bundles versus collection versus buying the pieces individually. I hope that clears that up. But anyway, let me show you the card that I worked on, and I kind of played around a little bit yesterday, and this is what I came up with. And it started out with the stamp set, and I just was playing around, and I stamped some of the stamp sets using some of the colors that was in the designer series paper, which is that Regal Winter. And look at this paper. It is luscious. Look at that. Look at those beautiful colors. Isn't that, I mean, it's a rich paper. Speaking of rich, that rich raspberry, you're getting the night of navies and the soft blues, the deep greens of the shaded spruce, some lavender. It's just a stunning pack of paper. And of course, you've got some hints of the wild wheat in here as well. So let me show you what my take on this card was. Now, this fold has been around for a long time. I've probably done this fold on my channel before, but this is such a beautiful, elegant looking card. Anytime you use some gold foil on your card, you're going to get a card that's a step above. And look at this. Is that not gorgeous? And look at that accordion fold. And it will sit up beautifully, just like this. Love, love, love the way this card came together. We're going to make this card today, and it's not as hard as it looks. We're going to simplify everything. I'm not using this piece because what I did on this one, I stamped my background piece here, but I believe on this one I'm going to use a piece of the designer series paper. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with our Night of Navy pieces. You're going to need a piece of Night of Navy that is 5 1/4 by 11, and we're going to do some scoring. So I'm going to bring up my scoreboard. And I got my notes right here, so I'm going to lay these hopefully right there where I can see them. I might have to stick a little sticky note on there to hold that in place. There they go. Yeah, sometimes you have to make yourself some notes. So let's do this. Let's take a little glue dot. Well, that don't want to play. I just want something right here on my computer. My computer's right in front of me. that helps me because I can see my screen and see what y'all are seeing. So that helps me to try to stay in frame. Let's see, that works. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our score marks. And the scoring is so simple on this. You're going to do 1 3/4. Then you're going to go to 3 1/2. You're going to go to 5 1/4. And then you're going to score at 7. So 1 3/4, 3 1/2, 5 1/4, and 7. That is it as far as our scoring on this piece. Now this piece is 3 by 6, and all we're going to do with it is on the 6-inch side, we're going to score it 3. And that is it. So you're going to need another piece of Night of Navy, and this piece is 3 by 3. So just a square of Night of Navy. And I believe that's all the scoring we're going to need to do. Now we're going to do our scoring. And so what you're going to do is starting on the left-hand side, that is going to be a mountain fold, and then a valley fold, a mountain fold, and a valley fold. So when you finish, you're going to have the open edge to your left, and everything else is going to be like this. So it's going to be mountain, valley, mountain, valley. I hope that makes sense. So what I want to do next is I'm going to bring my foam folder over. And I like to lay my pieces like this and give them a good burnish. So each one of my lines get some individual attention. And then this one. And it's important when you're doing a fun fold card to get some nice crisp edges on your folds because you want your card to fold. And when you add in the paper, your designer foils and designer series paper, that's going to make it a little bit fuller. And, with this many folds, you're going to have a little springing. That's just normal. But this is what it should look like. So it's going to look like a W. Some people call this the W fold. I think it's too pretty to just be called that. The next thing we're going to do is we've got the 3 by 6, and we're going to fold it this way. And do the same thing. Go ahead and give this a burnish. Lay that to the side along with your 3 by 3 piece. Now we're going to bring in our foils. And for our foils, you're going to need one piece that is 3 3/4 by 5. You're going to need 4 pieces that are 1 1/2 by 5. So you're going to need 4 of those. And you're going to need one piece that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So those are your gold foil pieces. Then you're going to bring in your designer series paper. You're going to need one piece that is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And then you're going to need 4 strips that are 1 1/4 by 3 3/4. And you're going to have 4 of those. There's a lot of layering on this card, but it is so beautiful once you get everything together. So let's see. My piece is going in the right direction. Okay. These ones here I don't think really matters. They didn't line up. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with putting our panels on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 will be our panels. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere first these 4 strips to my 4 pieces of foil. So because I'm working with foil, I'm going to use Stampin' Blend because foil does not like glue. So my Stampin' Seal will be the color, the adhesive of choice. So I'll make sure it's out to the edge. And I'm going to run about 3 pieces across each section like that. Let's see. So this is going to be a little time consuming because you got to get these all on here nice and straight. Right. So those are all on. So now all we have to do is adhere them to our card itself. So for this portion of it, I am going to use my liquid glue because this is just an easy way to put these down. I have a little wiggle room, and I love that. So I'm going to open this up all the way, and we're going to adhere these on just like this. Now that we've got those all on, we can see the card is starting to come together, looking beautiful. Okay, so now we are ready to go ahead and decorate the rest of the card. So the next piece that we're going to need is our piece of gold that's going to go right here. And we're also going to need that designer series paper to go over it. Now, if you want to, you could use a die, or you could go in and cut out a square out of this so you're not wasting all that gold. Or you can just leave it and put your designer paper over it. For the sake of the video, I'm just going to go with it like it is, and I'm going to put it down. Again, I am reaching for my Stampin' Seal because this is my adhesive of choice anytime I'm using gold foil. And I'm just going to go around and put a little bit. And if you twist your wrist when you're using this, it will always be ready at the end, but you need to bring your wrist forward like that each time that you roll it out. It was a learning curve when this stuff first came out. So many people didn't like it, but I have really grown to embrace it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sit this down like so. Give it a good press, and then I'm ready to come in with this piece of designer series paper, and I think I want it like that. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. I am going to come in and put this all the way around. A little piece in the middle, and now this is ready to go on top of our gold. And there's just something about these dark, rich colors with the gold. It is stunning. I love the way this is looking. So now you can see that our card is starting to come together, but our little mechanism that's going to make this so beautiful is still yet to go on, and it's going to go on just like that. But we need to do a little something to this. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and give it a good burnish so that piece lays down. And I have my gold piece and my frame that I want to put on the front of it. Now we're going to build some flowers on the front of that, but I'm going to show you. Now I didn't cut this one down right. Let's see. This is 2 3/4 by 3. I need to trim that down 1/4 of an inch on that side, so it's a 2 3/4. 2 3/4. Okay, that's 3. So I need this to be 2 3/4. 2 3/4. Yep. So just that little piece comes off. And now this will mat right in the center of that. And I have my decorative piece, and I used this die from the Peaceful Season die set. And I'm using the larger one. There's two. There's a small one and a larger one. and I'm using the larger one, and I cut out this piece out of white, and we're going to decorate this to go on the front, and we're going to put it on at an angle, sort of like that, for just a little bit more emphasis. Now, in my stamp set, Regal Flora, I stamped a couple of these, a couple of those, and a couple of these. Those were the 1, 2, 3. Those were the 3 pieces I used. And let me show you what I have. I have 2 of the beautiful flowers. I have 2 of the greeneries, like that. And I have 2 of these little stems of greenery. And we're going to use all of this on the front of this. And what I want to do is I want to come in and I want to stick these down, and I'm going to use some dimensionals. So let me grab my dimensionals. I'm just going to put 1 down on each one of the flowers. And I want my flowers to kind of be facing outward. So I'm going to let the bud hit right there. And then also the same way with this one, I want the bud to hit right about there. That's giving me a little lift, so I have a place to tuck my little greenery under the edges. So I am going to tuck that one right here, and this one like that. And then I'm going to get that one like that, and this one like this. And I want to glue all that down. And then we're going to put a piece of ribbon right in the middle of the 2 flowers. I think it's going to be really pretty like that. So let's go ahead and pull these out. And let's put some glue on the back. A little bit like that. And then we can tuck that under. And do the same thing with this one. And tuck that under. And then this is going to go right under the edge like that. And then this one is going to go like that. And you can see by putting those dimensionals up, it frees you up to be able to stick the foliage up underneath the edge of the flower. Now this is the ribbon that we're going to use, and is this the one that came in the suite? I can't remember, but we're going to look. If I can find the page. Yes, it is. The Regal, it's the Blackberry Bliss and Gold. So that is the ribbon that comes with that. And it is stunning. Look how pretty that ribbon is. Just really, really love it. And for this one, I'm just going to tie a knot bow, which is very simple, just a loop. Bring it back under like so, and then tighten it down. And to save your ribbon, just, tie it while it's still on the spool. That way you're only going to be cutting what you absolutely need to make your bow. So I'm going to cut it about like that, and then I can cut this piece up about like that. That way there's no waste on my ribbon. And I love it like that. And you can look at which side has your prettier knot, and then you can go with that and use whichever side you like. I think I like that side the best, so I'm going to go with this side, and what I'm going to do is take a glue dot, and I am going to press my bow into the knot, into the glue dot, and then I'm going to stick it right there. Now, if you find that you need another one, another way to do this to get one on there is to take your pick tool. And if you don't have one of these, I'm going to do a video real soon on the take your pick and all of the accessories. In case you don't know about the take your pick tool and you might want to pick up one. So I'm going to stick another glue dot right there just to really anchor that. And then I'm going to cut this off even a little bit more. I want it to be angled about like that. And about like that. Just a little bit of a bow right there in the middle, just to give it that little extra something. So what do you think? Do you like that? So I'm going to turn this piece over. I've got ink on my fingers. I had to stop a while ago and re-ink some ink pads, and I got ink everywhere. But I didn't mess up my card. That's the most important thing. Okay, back to my Stampin' Seal. And again, I am going to go around the outer edges of this. Just like that. You get any overhang, just pull it back onto itself. And go ahead and line this up in the middle. And adhere that down, just like that. So pretty. And now we can set this right in the middle, like that. Now, you have a couple options here. If you want to, you can put this on dimensionals. I can't see why we wouldn't want to put that on dimensionals. It's so pretty. I do need another pack of dimensionals. Let's see. Do I have any over here? I'm finding minis everywhere, but no full-size ones. The black ones. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to use some of my little scraps and bits and pieces, which are these little pieces like that. And I do want to pop this up, so I'm going to cut maybe 2 of these to go right here. And the other 2 at the bottom. About there. And I'm going to cut a couple more of these just to go on the other side. These work just as good as our dimensionals. I have more. I just got to get up and pull a pack. And I thought, rather than doing that, I'll just use some of these pieces that I already have, which works out perfect. I'm going to take this little piece and put it right in the middle, just to give me a little bit of stability right there. My trash and bits and pieces in the trash can. You press those down so they make sure they adhere good, and then pull off your backers. These work just like your Stampin' Dimensionals. It's just the little outer edges. And I say don't throw those away. If you've been throwing those away, you're putting money in the trash can. Okay, and I think I'm going to put it down just like that. Yeah, I think I like it like that better. So I'm going to eyeball center. And then just lay that in. And my card is opening this way, which is perfect. So what we want to do now is we want to decide exactly where we want this to lie. And I'm thinking like that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love the way this is turning out. So the other thing that we need to do is on the back side of this side, we're going to put a sentiment. And I believe for this one, I'm going to do a happy birthday. And I'm going to choose from the Label with Love, the happy birthday. This is a real cute font. And how about You Are Loved? Everybody wants to feel loved on their birthday. So I thought those two sentiments were very nice. And I'm going to put one up here and one right here. Just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and pick this all up. Do I want to do it together? Actually, I think I'm going to use the butterfly on here. Yeah, let's do the butterfly under the happy birthday. And I'm going to do this in, let's see if we can get this all on one block. And I'm going to stamp this in Night of Navy. Here's my Night of Navy. And I think I'm going to take my stamp to my ink. My ink to my stamp. So I'm going to ink it up like this. And then I'm going to stamp it like this. Making sure I'm getting it exactly where I want it. Give it a good press. Do not rock your stamp. Be careful not to rock. And there we go. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, so we've gotten that taken care of. And we have one more thing that we're going to need to stamp. And we're going to do that in Cherry Cobbler. And that's going to be the one that says You Are Loved. Now this is going to go on the back of this. So it's going to be a really cute message. And then this is going to go on this piece. And this is the one that's going to say You Are Loved. And again, I'm stamping it in the Cherry Cobbler. And I'm going to stamp it kind of up to the top because this is where you can also sign your card. And then this will go on that. So we are getting to the conclusion of our card really fast. So I'm going to go ahead and put some Stampin' Seal on the back of this. Now you could use liquid glue, but I'm going to stick with I'm going to go ahead and stick with my Stampin' Seal since I've been using that. And it is quick for the video. Just like that. And now we need to do the same thing with this. This needs to go down and this is going to go right here. Just like so. Now this piece is completely ready to go onto your card. And like I said, you're going to open it up and you're going to slide it in between all these folds. So it's going to go, one side's going to go out right here. The other one's going to go on the very front. So line it up so that you got it squared away exactly where you want it, just like that. You can hold it in place. I like to hold it here, up under here, because now I know that this isn't going anywhere. And it gives you the opportunity to put your glue. I'm going to use glue because I don't have a flat surface to put my tape on. So I'm just going to run some squiggles of glue along there, just like that. And I'm going to close that down. And I'm going to hold that just for a minute to make sure that that does sit up. And now I can open it this way. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put some squiggles of glue along there. And then close that over this, just like that. Now, in order to get this where it needs to be, you want to make sure that it's hid behind this piece. So what I like to do is hold it against that piece, just like that. Put my adhesive on it. I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal for this. Just like that. And now I'm going to lay this against that piece. Try to hold it where you're not getting it stuck to your finger. And then I'm just going to sit it down. Then I'm going to come back and make sure I got that nice and straight. Like that. And that looks really good, so I'm going to give it a press. Now our card is done other than some embellishments. And these Regal foiled adhesive back dots are perfect for this. And I'm going to use the blue ones because I think they're so pretty. You could use any color on this. The pink would be gorgeous. There's pink and green and blue and the cherry cobbler or the rich raspberry. And any one of these would be gorgeous on here. You know, maybe let's do the pink ones. They might shine on this card. So if we can get that one up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one right here. And let's put one right there. And I think that is sufficient. That is really pretty. This card sits up and beautifully on your desk or your mantle. This is definitely a mantle-worthy card. It is so pretty. It has all the elements. You've got gold foiling, you've got beautiful designer series paper, some die cut, some ribbons, some gems, all in a fun fold card that was super easy to make. So if you decide to make this card, please post your version over on our Facebook group. I would love to see your creativity. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. Let me show you that other one that I had done where I used instead of using pattern paper in the back, I actually stamped using the stamp set and on just plain white cardstock. And I think that turned out equally pretty. But there are our two cards. And I think they're both gorgeous, but I'm tending toward this one because I think it really is super fun. So anyway, these are our cards. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. And as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring honor and glory to our Savior Jesus. He is worthy. So until next time, God bless and keep you. Love you guys. Bye-bye.